don't like the song.
It works for what it's for. Like it works for what it's for. I just say that because
I don't like the song either. Like
I
never had heard it.
It is Taco Bell meat filler type song. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
God damn, Taco Bell meat.
Like it's because it's a lot of fillers in the meat. That's what that song is, because you don't really care about because even at that the actual chorus is kind of, like, for a person who know how to dance, like to me it's kind of corny, like left foot right foot, and I'm thinking like that shit's too slow. Like it's like the Cupid shuffle got more of a bounce to the right. You sit there, oh shit, you stand in place, right foot slide. Something like that. It is like,
it's
it works.
Very boring.
But I will say,
Go ahead.
No. What I was gonna say, but what I have to always remember is, I'm someone, like, everybody's been around me eventually. Maybe you said Rich, but like I dance like a motherfucker, right? So it's like I can't always look at when I'm watching or I'm DJing, I'm doing events and I'm watching these kids, because kids don't dance with each other anymore. Cordero, remember, we be trying to get up on some cheeks real quick, middle and high school.
Real quick.
Oh, nigga was trying to get pinned on the wall.
But it's
the wall
dances. But if you notice now, the girls try to out dab you. You know what I'm saying? Like the women are out trying to out dab you or out shoot you. You know what I mean? Or out here trying to, like,
I see dancing together.
Yeah, kids really don't dance like that anymore. And if they do, you'd be like, oh shit, like, do they know how to do it still? You know what I mean? Hey, you don't want to give high school kids tips like, hey fam, put your hand on the hip, like.
Like, when I dip, you dip, we dip, my nigga. Damn.
So it's just one of those things. Like, so I don't know. Like I try to be hesitant on how what I don't like actually is when I watch videos of, like, okay, so now, because I just seen this post recently. It was talking about Save the Last Dance. No, was it Save the Last Dance? Where Julia Stiles and the old boy taught her how to dance, and she did the moves, and we was like, oh man, remember, we thought that was the coldest. We was cheering for her, and you come to realize, yo, she was trash, even with her presentation. But I'm thinking like that was probably. But I'm thinking like that was one of the first movies where you had a crossover when it comes to like hip hop, and you got this white girl that's trying to have some type of spice and style to her, and that's why I think people was like, oh shit. And then Julia Stiles, remember, she was an O, you know what I'm saying? She was a white girl that you wanted to see an O, and everything else. So it was just like, I don't like stiff movements of dances where I don't like those filler dances. It's kind of like the Britney Spears, like the hip hop, dance routine shit. So that's kind of my thing. But anyway, since I got as many people as here as possible, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you very much for being here. This means a lot to me. It's kind of an honor, you know what I'm saying? Because I think just getting people together is very difficult. Just when everybody was kicking it, you know what I mean? Like, we was all on the grind. We was out here we all was trying to hustle and get somewhere, and we realized that sometimes this shit feel like a treadmill. What it is, you just running in place, right? Mm-hmm. So to get everyone here really means a lot, just to connect. And the reason why is because I was kind of thinking to myself, in most cases, for artists of y'all caliber and everything y'all trying to do and build a brand and get yourself on the come up, the toughest thing to do is I need to move as an artist that's like trying to make a name for myself. But also, I think we somewhat get caught up in this traditional idea that we need to move like we're signed to a label, right? Like, yeah, we have rollouts and things like that, but I always wonder, this kind of sparked this whole thing. It's like, why can't we just do, you see other artists, like Lil Wayne, even when he was his hottest, he was just throwing shit out there, even though, I have feelings about that. But besides the point. So it's kind of like, I just wanted to get in the mindset of you guys. So first and foremost, I want to start out with an intro. My name is Ramone. I know all of y'all. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm living in Houston. It's the trashiest place. Anyway, so I live in Houston, and people know I just make beats, and I go by Mozart. The way my screen is looking, so I'll be able to kind of follow the order. So Cordero, introduce yourself, your name, and we move on from there.
What's going on, everybody. My name is Cordero Coleman. I was born in Chicago, raised in Madison. That's where I met Ramone. Um, I don't know. I fell into hip hop through my older brother. He taught me everything I know. Um, and so, been trying to stay out of quarantine. I do music here and there. I make beats part time. I'm not much of a producer, so I'm just like a beat maker. I ain't did it in a while, but yeah, I love the music, and I started off copying different people. I think that's how a lot of people start rapping. They start copying other people. Then I formulated my own style over the time. So, here we are.
Good
All right,
shit.
Ant.
Yo, uh, I'm Cardiac. Y'all know. King Yak, Slow Flow Dawn, Swag Daddy Jones Jr., all that kind of shit. CEO, Red Division Music. One more do I get to say?
All right, Justin.
What's good? It's your man Class. Yeah. I'm out here chilling. I'm enjoying quarantine, man. Fuck that. Nigga, I'm
peaceful.
at peace. I'm at peace. I smoke weed. I make music today. My vibe.
Hey.
Yeah. Love music. I sing. I rap. Who was that? Yeah. Fuck it. I'm trapped. My bad. Yeah.
Hey, fam, what's funny as hell? When Justin first started, it almost sounded like back in the 90s where they did the video for the singles. Like, yeah, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
On 106 in Park. Like, yo, this right new single, man. Check it out, man. Featuring Tiggy, man. You know what I'm saying? In stores everywhere.
All right, we got Rich.
Yo, how's it going? My name is Rich P. I know majority of y'all in here already, man. It's a pleasure to be in a meeting right now with all of these people, man. We've been trying to get a Zoom meeting together for a while, man. So
Facts.
it's good to get together and even have a reason to do this shit. So I ain't seen my nigga Class in a minute. Was good.
What?
Cordero, what's going on, man?
What's going on? How you feeling?
Cardiac, Trey, what he do?
What's happening?
I've been doing music, like all my life, I guess. I don't want to put a timestamp on it because, like what you said earlier, Mon, like it make me think, like, damn, they been doing this shit for 20 years, and you know what I'm saying? Ain't really did nothing, but whatever.
You can never say nothing because I say this all the time, man. Money doesn't validate the ignorance, and basically what that means, like anybody can just be paid to be made a star. You know what I'm saying? All of us here because we love what we do musically. Whether you getting paid from it or not is not, that'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? And we were all like that. But it ain't about that. And if it's about that for you and you get in that position and start making that money, you're gonna get lost. So
No, it's not necessarily about the money though. It's just about like period.
Nah, it ain't.
I mean, I'm talking about for me,
Right.
far as attraction that like progress I'm trying to make. I know money gonna come, but it's more so about building the awareness and getting out there, you know what I'm saying, and being able to get my music into the hands, into the ears of the people.
Expanding the art form. That's where I'm at too. Because there's a million ways to make money. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm on that same wave exactly. You know what I mean? I really want to I don't know. I want to create a sound, and I don't know if I have yet. I'm not sure. My music is kind of everywhere. The beat kind of depicts what song I'm going to create. You know what I mean? So I'm listening. We just be listening to the studio session and whatever. That's where I'm gonna go from there, and it's gonna be. I basically tell a story and make it rhyme. That's basically all I do. It's just so happened that some people are better at it than other people. You know what I mean, or more clever with it. I guess you could say. I started off just writing, no recording. And everybody that was rapping at the time was recording everything they had. So by the time I started, getting my foot out there, I had so much music and so much time and so much practice that I was a little bit better than the people around me. as far as putting a song together and actually understanding how to put a song together. Because there's some people that can't even count bars. You know what I mean? They don't know what bars are. They don't even know what a 16 is. They don't know what a bridge is. They don't know what a chorus is. So, but they go in the studio and they make a bunch of money. It's what it is, you know.
Yeah, it's a bet. All right, Trey.
What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
You good?
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
What up? I'm Trey, singer-songwriter in Milwaukee. Yeah, there's nothing else to say.
Looking ass.
Everybody know me, so it's all good.
You know who this is?
Yeah, we don't even know you, nigga.
Y'all know me.
Say,
It's your
y'all
boy.
know
Looking
what it
ass.
is.
That
It's your
R&B
man.
Know this
nigga.
nigga. You don't even know this nigga,
It's
man.
your best friend here. You know what I mean?
It's your man.
Y'all know me. I don't know that fool. Y'all know me anyway. So, first and foremost, I know y'all be able to chop it up, but all right. So, real quick, the hardest thing to do, the most difficult thing to do is here is like I know feedback and. You know, we don't know what the next person going to say and what we're trying to talk. And I don't want people to feel like they're getting talked over or anything. If a person who talks a lot, which is me, I really genuinely care about y'all process of getting with y'all, you know. And, you know, I don't want to come up like, yo, just raise your hand if you got a question. But
Look at that.
it's like, but I will say just, you know, try to make it go smooth as possible, man. And so first and foremost, you already got the house going, but starting out, I'm gonna go the other way. Trey, how do you feel like this quarantine shit has helped your creative process? Just because, like, I know some still work, but obviously it's a lot of time to reevaluate your mindset and the way you want to create and just the things you want to do. Kind of, I heard listen to some earlier, but the Joe Budden podcast earlier, I was listening, and they was just talking about how a lot of music that people should be creating now should have some some type of replay value, only because since we're technically not outside, it's hard to create where people's not outside. You can't create a song that's made for outside when people are not outside.
Yeah.
So obviously it's about replay value and really capture people's attention and really, you know, they're sitting in the house like, oh, I'm listening to this today. So how has the creative process been for you?
Well, it kind of really just changed my whole the whole thing I was about to do, because first of all, you want people to relate to what you bringing out. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, like the newest single that I was gonna put out, I know that nobody could relate to it. So I just this is like my time to just step back and just find a way to find other ways to be creative at this point in time so people can actually have something that they could rock to or whatever when because they can't go to the club right now. Like they can't, like the song was called Back of This Uber. Like nobody is getting in an Uber right now. Like so it's like you just gotta find that be creative and try to take in the moment and help other people in this moment at this time. Like just don't try to be selfish at this point in time. Other people need to hear something that they can actually see. Like it's like that something they can visualize in this moment right now. So you know what I'm saying? So I just had to take a back seat and like, whoa, like we gotta stop whatever you're doing and because people love music. Like so yeah, that's what I had to do.
All right, how about you, Ed? Oh, my bad. And what about you, Ed?
Oh, my fault. I didn't hear you. How was the quarantine affecting my creativity? Is that the question?
Yeah, like how's it going with your creative process, reevaluation? I know you still got work, things like that, but you know, I know it's kind of that's reevaluation in different ways. So I know one of those things is just from a creative process.
It hasn't changed anything. I have with me, like, you know, working a week and off a week and not going anywhere really besides like grocery stores and shit like that. I got more time to create. I mean, I'm creating probably a lot more at this point. Whatever, writing a little more than I was before because so many other things to do. But right now, I mean, it hasn't really affected anything for me. I want to end this quarantine, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, only thing I've been doing as far as reflecting on who I am and shit internally, shit inward like that. But the creative process hasn't changed anything for me yet. Whatever. I don't feel any different at this moment. I'm just but then again, I let whatever come out. Whatever I'm feeling, I just let it happen and whatnot. You know, I'm not per se thinking about the quarantine and what I have to make for this time. I'm just thinking about overall what I feel like making and what I want to make and what I want people to hear from me. I guess that would answer that question.
All right, Rich, what about you, man?
I share Cardiac same thing he said. It hasn't really altered the way I create at all. It just gave me something more to talk about, honestly. I don't know. I feel like with more time on my hands though, sometime last week I was making more beats and shit. Like I made a couple more beats. But like other than that, it's kind of the same thing, you know? Not to make that sound like it's like a bad process. You know what I'm saying? But like it just basically, like I said, you know, gave me more to talk about and other ways to interpret the way that I deliver my shit or different content. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of took the quarantine shit as a way as a lab work thing. Like, oh shit, you ain't got nothing to do now, nigga. Shit, hey, remember all that time you said you didn't have because you was at work and you couldn't finish no records? Nigga, go and finish some records then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because usually when people have time on their hands to figure shit out, it's usually because we're forced to. And it's usually probably because you got fired from your job, right? So then you just sitting at home like, man, I got to figure out how to get another job. But in this situation, everybody's going through the same thing, you know? So it's a good, you know, the world told your ass to sit your motherfucking ass down. And you gotta be like, all right, well, I gotta figure something out. And I feel like that's the positive thing because I feel like in most cases, the reason normal was trash. Let's keep it a buck. Like you sit in traffic, traffic all day. Like I live in Houston, fam. Like people want things to go back to normal, fam. You would sit in traffic for an hour before work, and then you go to work. Do you work around people you don't like? Then work around people you don't care for or want to see, and then you sit at work. A job you probably just want to quit every damn day, and then you sit in traffic for an hour just to go home. Like that was the norm that people saying they miss, and it's because they're miserable. They're not doing what they kind of want to do, even if they don't benefit financially from it. It's like, man, it's like it's literally like, hey, I can fuck this girl without her being my wife eventually. Like, I'm glad I got my rocks off, and I feel like the same situation. I feel better. You know, I just get to chill and do what the fuck I want to do and just figure shit out. And eventually, I don't know if that damn thing makes sense, but eventually I'm able to kind of figure myself out. And I think it's helped out a lot more than people think. Don't get me wrong. People are suffering. People lost a lot of money over it. Trust me, lost a lot of money. Like this year, your boy was looking, but now, you know, I just got to take this big ass L that all these proms and homecomings early next year coming up and high school graduation parties and weddings, all that shit. I'm just sitting at the house just looking goofy right now. But yeah, man, it's just a forced situation. And I feel like the world really needed an opportunity where everybody can sit down and reevaluate themselves, who they're with, their significant others, the people they surround themselves with. Because when you're like, people were so caught up thinking that everybody in the grandma was going to get pregnant. Shit, a lot of people might end up getting divorced or splitting just because, like, now you have more time around that person compared to I see you in the morning, all right, have a good day at work, and I see you late at night before we go home. We looking at each other watching Netflix for 2 hours before we go to bed. You ain't really spending that much time with each other until now. You like, or there's some cases where you sit there with your significant other and they working from home and you realize like, oh, you that type of person at work. You know what I mean? Or you the asshole at work. You the type of manager I don't like at work. Or you know what I'm saying? So it's just you learn those different things, and that's why people think divorce is going to go up. You know. But anyway, Justin.
Side note. Domestic violence is up.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, and if kids, for kids especially, since my fiance she works for Houston Food Bank, so that shit they putting out an average like 1 million pounds a day of food in the city, and you know people it's trash. I ain't gonna lie to you, the process trash, but then people's trash, so it's just one big dumpster of trash. Anyway.
A dumpster of trash.
Dumpster of trash on fire.
Trash. So yeah, Justin, you Pippin, how was the COVID process in your creative process?
I'm gonna go left with it, man. Like I said before, man, I'm digging quarantine. I mean, aside from one huge thing, like I'm not able to hang with my little man as much because he lives with his grandparents, and you know they're older. His grandfather has a heart condition, so I don't want to spread that shit by transporting him back and forth. So that sucks. But I FaceTime him every night, so that's cool. Other than that, dog, I'm just diving headfirst into music, like in the things that I want to do. You know, I like you said, it's a time to some people sit down and evaluate themselves. I've been working out, you know, like crazy, getting my body right, getting my mind right, and just being at peace with stuff and making a ton of music. As soon as I got my Trump check, I went and bought some music equipment and bought some music equipment, started teaching myself music theory. You know, just sitting down a couple hours with a real textbook, taking notes and shit like that, and learning the notes so I can figure out how to do the harmonies and stuff like that. So I don't have to keep asking how to do this stuff. You know, and making myself getting a better workflow. I want my music to be the best that I can do. You know, I'm pushing my cousin, who's my engineer. He's not really the best at vocal mixing, but I'm pushing him to learn some stuff so we can be better together. You know, buying equipment that I'm not a producer, but I bought a drum machine and a MIDI keyboard so he can use it. You know, if he's better, I'm better. So I've kind of just been diving headfirst into that. Like I said, get my mind right and really trying to figure out where we go from here. I'm gonna just start putting shit out. I don't care no more. Like, why hold on to it? I don't give a fuck. as long as the sound is right, and I'm satisfied with it, fuck it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I've been holding on to 50 plus songs for like years, and it's like, nah, we're not gonna do that no more. I'm at that point where it's either, I mean, it's gonna live either way, and I'm satisfied with it. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, cause these days, you know, you never know what's gonna catch, man. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? And
you never know where it's gonna catch, man.
Yeah.
Like, you check your Spotify. I mean, your Spotify for artists, and you see you popping in like the United Kingdom for no reason on some song that you didn't even like. It happened so random like that. Like, your shit end up on a TikTok video or something like that. You know, just randomly. So it's like, whatever. It's music. If I believe in my creation process and the people I'm around and my ability to grow, I'm always gonna create new shit. Always. Creativity always gonna be there. So, you know, you still want to release it dope. You know, you want to just be throwing out your best shit on some bullshit. But I think I need to increase my workflow. Like, how much that for waiting 2 years like I'm Kendrick and shit, I can't do that.
All right. What about you, Cordero?
I don't think any of us can afford that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So how about you, Cordero? How's been the creative process for you and everything?
I guess I'm in the kind of the same boat with you, Justin. As far as being creative, you've been sitting on a lot of your work, and I've been sitting on a lot of my work. So since this quarantine has happened, it took away all the excuses I would normally have, working, doing this, doing that, flipping and running. Um, always been like, having a ton of unfinished work. Um, I finished everything. And after I finished everything, I'm starting to release everything. And I got a lot of music, and my plan is not to release like a album or EP, anything like that, or a mixtape. I just release singles, and I see what those do. Um, and I'm gonna work my angle that way. So that way, I got a ton of music to release in, a month here, a month there, and see what the numbers do, and work on my promotional game, which is the key right now. I got to figure out how to promote and get my name out there, because you can't do no shows or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So, it gave me, the quarantine gave me no excuses to just put my name out there and actually start, I guess, put your name in the pot musically. You know what I mean? Get my sound out there and see if the people actually mess with my music. You know what I mean? Because a lot of my peers, they doing their thing. You know what I mean? Musically, everybody doing their thing. They got a nice little following. You know what I mean? And so it's time for me to just get my foot in the door. Make some noise. So I'm just gonna be shooting videos and doing all of that. You expect a lot.
So yeah, I remember kind of just open up like Cordero's that dude back in school, man. Like this is like the early when Cassidy was hitting and Jadakiss was that nigga, and it was like it was some interesting shit going on around that time, and everybody's like, no, Cordero that dude, like, and he's been tested a few times by a few people that really try to, I'm glad that recently we chopped it up just because like, it's I feel like everybody kind of need that push, like, yo, you a talented dude, you can do it. And I think sometimes we get so caught up thinking about our surroundings. If we've learned from anyone that's ever been in business or anybody that's trying to do something, like even if you open up a restaurant, yeah, you can get some family members to come through eat your food, but what's going to help you really push forward is getting fans outside of your family. Same thing living in your city. You can push all you can. Like, I want Milwaukee to rock with me. The only way that's going to happen is San Francisco and Houston start rocking with you, and then Milwaukee's niggas like, oh, yeah, he from here. And that seems like that's always been the way shit happens. Like, I heard this thing about Bob Marley. Jamaica, they kind of knew about him, but when the UK started showing all this love to Bob Marley, then the people's like, oh, yeah, he from where we from. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And we kind of get caught in that swirl. We like it's almost it's a rat race almost, and like that just kind of transition forward where the toughest thing to do is you be friends with other artists, but these guys are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do, so we're trying to gain fans. And so I wonder from y'all, what are your expectations from your direct fans? It doesn't matter if I'm your biggest fan, but what are your expectations from your fans? Because I feel like fans overall is trash. I hate to say it, like especially just music, sports, like they could just be a certain way. But I feel like they play an important role, so you kind of have to massage them enough to have some type of long-lasting career. To be honest with you, like you work a job, they make $12 an hour. Fam, if I can do music and make the equivalent of making $12 an hour, 40 hours a week, I'd be good. You know what I mean? Whatever the equivalent of that is. I think we get so caught up thinking like you need to have hundreds of $1,000s. Fam, if I can make $50,000 just rapping, that's 20 times better than me working in the fucking kitchen, have somebody telling me what to do. I mean, people get shitted on for that, but I'm like, fam, I ain't, but I get to do something I really enjoy, and that's creating. And, as we learn in this country, not a lot of people making over $50,000 doing anything. So, kind of start out, Cordero, what are your expectations when it comes to building your fans and your fan base and, that?
What are my expectations for building my own fan base?
Yeah.
As far what exactly do I expect from the fans, or what exactly do I expect from myself?
Well, it ties into
for like for my results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For my results. Oh man, we get what you put into it. I'm living proof of that. and I can stand on that. You know what I mean? I think if you have the talent and you working, you're gonna see progress. I think that's just the formula. I think that's the basic formula that we can all strive to work on. You know what I mean? If that's what you're doing, this is your passion, this is what you love to do, then do it to the maximum, to the extreme that you can. You know what I mean? Always work, always put out stuff, always shoot new videos, always politicking, you know, getting to know the people around you, getting to know your peers, getting you know, and also like y'all was mentioning earlier, staying current. You know, talking. I ain't made no song about quarantine at all. I didn't think it was necessary because I think it's kind of overdone now. So I kind of missed the wave, I guess, so to speak. But staying current and doing those things, I think all those things are important. Um, so I guess to answer your question, you know what I mean. What I expect, I put in the effort. I think I'm gonna get from it what I want from it. You know what I mean? And I think I have the talent to take it to the next level. I just gotta put in that effort. You know what I mean? And I think the promo gonna do most of the legwork, honestly. You know, and then the people always choose. You know, the internet chooses. It's just you never know. Like you said, your song could be popping somewhere, and this is a song you don't even like. You never know. The internet can make any song you have go viral, and you don't even know. You know, so always working, always moving forward. You know, the only thing you can expect, the fans are fickle. I can agree. The fans are very fickle. They love you and then they hate you and then they love you again, bro. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You just gotta stay in your lane. The best advice I can give you is whatever got you in the game, stay doing that. Because that's what they're gonna love you for. You know.
All right, Jay. Justin, hello.
I don't know if I have any expectations as far as the fan base goes. It's always kind of been a personal journey for me. It's I like to relate to people, but a lot of that shit comes super personal. As you can tell from a lot of my records. I mean, and it's even from the artists I listen to. I listen to a lot of Joe Budden. I listen to a lot of Eminem. So it's kind of that my life sucks kind of shit. Some old Nirvana type shit. The self-loathing bag. That's my bag. So if I can relate to somebody and maybe my story, what I go through, and if that connects, that's good. That's all I want. I mean, but money and the fame and all that extra shit really ain't that important to me. It's just a piece in what I want to do in my life and how I choose to live my life. Like you said, if I can do that through music, so be it. I don't care. I just want to be around it. Even if, the goal has changed. I still want it to be similar. Like I can do some engineering shit. I can be a vocal producer, something like that, but I got to be around it kind of way. If I'm not the front man, that's cool. That's never been a thing with me. I'm cool being behind or whatever. I just want to be in the creation process. I love being in the studio. That's my favorite part.
All right, Rich.
I'll say like I don't really have no expectations out of them except just listen to the tunes and give me honest feedback. If you fuck with it, then really fuck with it. Like don't just kind of fuck with it because I'm not that nigga or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really where they be fickle at and my aspect of it, because it's like they fuck with you, but they don't really fuck with you because you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't up there yet. And I think
Right.
that's backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm making music that can compete with your favorite artist that just dropped the album, then I feel like by design you should kind of be rocking with that nigga a little harder, because when he pop, it's gonna be something different. But they celebrate you when you already at the top. So like I said, the only expectation I have out of them is to listen and to be real with the way that they relate to the shit, and hopefully do relate to it. You know what I mean? I try to make music in a way where when people listen to it, they can take something from it. You know, even if it's just one bar, you know what I'm saying? It can just add a whole different way to the way that they think. Or, oh damn, I never looked at it like that. Or I ain't never even thought of no shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? So basically, even if they don't fuck with it, I just hope they grow from the shit. That's another that's one expectation. Shit. As long as they grow and take it with them to the next motherfucker. Like, you ain't even gotta let another motherfucker know where you got that shit from, but you know where you got it from, and that's all that matters.
All right. Kind of, I was gonna say this later, but I think just so far, I think the biggest thing that you could take away from it, and I feel like this could go the same thing for sales, but you have to create something that people didn't know they needed, right? Because that's just how the shit goes. I said it earlier, but like, you know, I think we get so, like, in general, we thinking that, okay, well, this is where the game is now when it comes to a sound. You think that the dudes from Griselda was like, oh, well, this is a sound now. Let's just do what they're doing. It's like, no, nigga, we gonna re-rapping these gun and drug bars like crazy. You know what I mean? And so you have to. It's. I remember this from organizing. Like, it's the hardest thing to do is try to get the horse to the water and drink it, as they like to say. Sometimes you gotta put that horse's face in the water. Like, you just like, no, you better drink this shit. And I feel like that's what we should do with our music. Like, you have to create. If you're creating something, doing something, all these different things, you have to just. I'm about to make something. They just realize, like, oh shit, I didn't know I needed that. But I rock with it. Like I said, Old Town Road earlier. Like, that shit hit TikTok, but we didn't think that. Oh shit, this is a dancing country song. And then, you know, white people try to fuck it up, and then we like, no, fuck that. I'm about to shoot my life away. You know, he's in the clubs all day, just you know. Like, but I think that's what we all should do. Just kind of look at it, is it like you're doing it for yourself. You're trying to figure some things out, but you have to always look at, like, yeah, you know, I'm comfortable with this style because this is what I do really well. But also, this is some shit people hear is like, yo, I rock with this shit. Like, it's like, oh, I usually listen to Taylor Swift, but damn, Get Like Me is like, I rock with that shit. You know what I mean? It's just, you're gonna get that, and I think that's very important too, right? Ant, same question. Your expectations.
I don't have any expectations of fans or supporters of mine. The expectation is on me. The expectation is I'm supposed to give quality to them every time. Period. No ifs, ands, buts about that. I'm supposed to give quality to the culture. It depends. Like, at this point, I'm kind of on legacy rap at this point for me and whatnot. But if you're trying to go further, it takes relationships and it takes money. Period. And whatnot. It's a few guys that pop off through like TikTok or whatever, like shit go viral, but it's not that many, and that shit be here today, going tomorrow anyway. But I don't know, bro. Like, you know, I just make whatever I feel. I don't have any. The only expectation is when I'm making it, is it good? Are people gonna like it? But first, I have to like it. If I like it, I love it. Okay, everybody need to hear this shit because this came from me. Because that's how I always create everything and whatnot. But I have no expectations of fans because they fickle as fuck anyway. You know what I'm saying? They love you one day and you do something a little different this day. Everybody not fucking with you at all. Like, what's an example of that? I feel like Ludacris is an example of that. Niggas love what Luda was doing up until Luda said, I'm gonna make a conscious album. I wasn't fucking with the conscious album. Like, I wasn't fucking with Release Therapy like that, bro. I want you to do that.
Wait, you didn't like War with God? Oh my God, I love War with God.
Release Therapy was damn near fire.
Yeah,
I ain't like that theater of the mind shit. That shit was damn near garbage.
No, Theater of the Mind is crazy.
See, it's
But
crazy because he was trying to go concept, but on Theater of Mind, the
Release
concept was
therapy.
the concept was alright, bro.
It was alright, bro. It
With
wasn't
the
all of
featuring
that.
on the track list and shit, like
I mean,
co-starring and shit.
Yeah, that shit was kind of trash, but you know what I'm saying? But
all right, and thank you for a good time today. I have to boost you off the damn cut. Don't just boot it like that.
No, that Battle of the Sexes though. Now that was a hit album. Look at that.
That shit was trash.
You know, I mean, but you can tell that Luda was going for he was going for with the Runaway Love. We tried to get the Grammy, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga? We finna conscious, nigga. We finna go all the way, bro. If I want to hear, I feel like slapping a nigga today, slap. I want to hear that.
That's my shit right there.
I want to hear Luda talk that shit.
And I think it is, bro. He waited too long to do that, bro. He had put out old albums in that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if he would have did that on album 3. If that would have been album 3, that it probably would have worthe bro.
Because he put out
If
so many albums
sprinkled
without enough, yeah, exactly, sprinkle. He didn't put enough of that in it on all the albums. It was just fun, goofy. We fucking, it was a lot of shit like that for the longest time. We had to sprinkle that shit through the project. I would have been able to take it a little bit.
He just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that's understandable. I remember it's kind of like early in DMX career. Like he had his bars, but on occasion he had his prayer. You know, he had his more, here and there. So you kind of took it as is. But if DMX came out and did like a Yay, or just did a full gospel album, you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on, DMX? You know what I mean? Like you were like, you have to lead me into this shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, Trey.
But with X,
he would be yelling it at us the whole time anyway.
And every album he had prayers. He always
like
that.
He led us into that.
He did. He did.
All right, my bad. Trey?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Oh yeah, your expectations of your fans.
Off track. Always off track.
I just forgot what we was talking about. Oh, my expectations. I kind of stopped having expectations because people are kind of fake now. Yeah, no, yeah, they are.
Halfway, bro. Cup half full.
It's like, because I mean, I can see it in my own shit. Like when if I can have 100 comments on something and then 4 plays on Apple Music, like that's like niggas be like, oh, that's fire, but you didn't go listen to it. Like you just listen to a snippet on Facebook, but you didn't actually go listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like social media has taken away the word of mouth aspect of fans. And that it's like people don't talk to each other no more. You know what I'm saying? And that part is what hurts a lot of artists like us when we have such great music and nobody is actually sharing it with other people. They just press the share button on Facebook, and that's not the same as telling somebody to go listen to this. You know what I'm saying? So I really stopped having expectation for fans, but as for myself, I just keep dropping hot shit.
So I've always wanted to ask this for you, Trey, is how was the transition when you said, you know what, I've been doing a lot of R&B. I kind of want to, do. I don't know if there were passion projects or anything, but you had the gospel, and then you still want to do your R&B. And obviously, when you're dealing with people of gospel, they can get a little too judgmental, uptight, and knowing that you did R&B and the type of sounds you wanted to do. And how was that for you working? Because I bet that could be a lot for you. I bet that was a lot for you, even if you really wanted to do it, but you had to kind of politic yourself differently doing those things.
That was just really a different part of my life. Like I usually when I'm creating, it's usually something that's currently something going on with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was on that spiritual journey at that point to where I had to um kind of find myself, and that was basically a passion project, you know what I'm saying? So but it was impactful, like, to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And some people still listen to that. And I thought it was fun. Like, I just love to create. I don't care if it's gospel, country, rock, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So but it did cause a lot of backlash, like a lot. Especially in my own church. So
Yeah, that's
that's where
really
I'm at with it.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. So part of coming up is building relationships and obviously having money. Now, money, that's the thing it's always gonna be a process to try to get, but working with others literally takes just us kind of putting ourselves out there and doing a few things. So um how how has that been? Like, where does your mind go where you like, oh, I want to work with you, or hey, I'm gonna hit this person up? Because obviously a lot of y'all worked together before outside of Cordero, but like, if you think of it something, it's like, oh man, you know who good sing this part, or be good to rap on this song. But like, even meeting new people, how is that process when it comes to approaching and dealing with other people's process? Because everybody has a different process. Y'all been in the studio where somebody can write something, and then other people, they like, yeah, damn, like I was in the studio for 20 hours, this nigga to write 8 bars, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so how is that approach for y'all? How do y'all approach that, working with others, knowing that one, you're building relationships, and two, that it's able to kind of get you to next level, and maybe some of their fans opens up to you, like, oh shit, I like this dude you work with. You should work with him more. So the screen time to switch. So I'm starting with Justin.
Well, for me, unfortunately, I create always kind of, and that's why my music is so personal. Me and Aunt, we used to do it in the studio all the time. I used to go to his crib and do it. But as I've gotten older, it's kind of just me vibing with my headphones. So even if I'm in the studio with a bunch of people, I'm by myself. Like, because I got to have both headphones on when I record. And it's just a constant long process because I think and overthink and double think and triple think lines. That's kind of how I write. It's complex, but that's me. I'll think of the most basic line I can think of, and then I'll deconstruct that line and make it as complex as I can with my nerd brain. Like, I'll make it the most basic shit you can think of, and then just overcomplicate it and overcomplicate it and overcomplicate it, and then add a melody on top of that so that it makes sense more than one way. It makes sense on a surface level, and then it makes sense on a a nerd level if you listen to it multiple times. And that's just kind of my process. And I get this anxiety when I'm around a lot of people, especially if I don't know you. So I'm constantly critiquing my process and critiquing how well I stack up to other people if I'm in a room. And then that just doesn't make for a good session for me.
Right.
I can't create really well. I'd like to be better at that because I respect everybody on this Zoom chat. Like, I think y'all super dope in y'all fields, and I would love to create more like that. But I'm just like a hermit, so to speak. I've kind of always been like that. But working with new people is a dope idea. I wasn't working with my cousin for so many years, and he was creating so much dope shit on his own. And then we kind of linked up a couple years ago, and now we like this, and we push each other, and a lot of dope shit has started to happen between us. And then that and Mo sending us stems and us adding on top of some shit, and we just kind of all air together. And sometimes it helps to have more cooks in the kitchen, and I need to accept that.
All right, Rich.
Um, say the question again. I know the
Oh yeah,
question, but hit me again with it.
like working with others in the process, and just like you figuring those things out, that process out.
Well, most times, like whenever me and Cardiac or Trey collab, like we either have production already or a concept already. So basically, it just be like, you know, if the verse fit the record, then you know what I'm saying. Then it works. Like when I'm collaborating, I'm not necessarily trying to make a better verse, but I'm trying to make the best verse that like I can make to make a good record. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't create from the standpoint of trying to make a better verse or whatever. It's just sometimes like, you know, the opposites attract, you know what I'm saying? Like you might send me a beat that we might be in the lab and it's a beat that, you know, it's a rap beat, but in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna hit this shit with some melody. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, that's where I be coming from with this shit. Like I've kind of looked at it like I don't really try to overthink too much. Like if I say something or if we in the lab and we vibing on something and we vibing on that shit, then we lay it because the fact that we are creatives, we gonna always create. So when I'm in the lab creating, I usually try not to get too held up on one record. We get it done or we'll go to the next one because like I said, we're gonna constantly create. And the more time we hold up on one record is, you know, more time we wasting on, you know, doing something else. So like I love creating, man, and collaborating, like especially with these people that's on the screen too. And I sent you that email the other day, bro. Like all them little loops and shit that you be sending through, though. I pull them motherfuckers right out the email and get to doing run throughs on them. You know, some of them don't come out to be like full records, but they definitely be having some concepts on them. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Court.
So yeah, go ahead and repeat the question one more time.
Oh yeah, just working with others and the process when it comes to that.
Oh yeah. Well, my process actually changed as far as writing. Because I went from pen and pad, then using the phone, and then now I write in my head most of the time. And if y'all don't really understand that, I'm pretty sure y'all all understand that, y'all artists. But if you don't really get that, you go in the studio, you listen to the beat over and over, and you kind of just kind of freestyle. You kind of throw some words out there. And if you're in the studio and you're recording, the engineer would pause it, and then you'll just keep punching in, punching in, punching in, punching in, and that's usually the process of how you do it if you're recording it. But if you ain't recording it, you just remembering lines. And since all of us have written a song before, and a verse before, I know you've been at work or you've just been somewhere and you just thought of a high bar for no reason, and you don't even know where it came from, and you ain't even really put it to nothing. You know what I mean? It's not really, it don't really go with nothing. You was like, but that was dope. You know what I mean? And then what I started doing is adding stuff to it. So it got to a point where I can remember, I don't know, I got about 15 songs in my head that I just know that are not written down. If I remember like the first couple words to it, I need beats to them. You know what I mean? But now I just know the song. So the process of me writing and collaborating with other artists, I just go in there and I listen to the beat and we go from there. You know what I mean? I don't really have a problem working with other people. I've had issues. The way I came with my name, my stage name, my artist name, Beeph, the way I even came up with that name, because I would go in other studios and work with other artists, and we would create a song. And I leave the studio, the song get released, and I'm not on the song. And it happened numerous times, and I'm like people don't like me. They don't want me on the song, and I'm not understanding this. And then I create a song, and somebody literally like take a song that I wrote and go record it without me. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's like people beefing with me, bro. Like, because like it's not that I'm tooting my own horn, but these things actually happen. Actually happen to me. These things actually took place.
Mm.
And so like I don't have issues working with other artists, but in the past when I worked with an artist as I got older, you know what I mean, it became easier. You know, it became more business than anything else. I'm not in a position to pay for a feature, nor would I pay for a feature. I think that's kind of played out now. You know what I mean? It's all about being independent. I mean, you market yourself, listen, to get, you know what I mean, other artists to work with you. You know what I mean?
Well, sorry to break it to you, Cordero. You ever thought maybe that your verse was just trash? And he's like, nah, man, we ain't want to tell him. So he's now it's finished. No, you
Nah,
good.
Look how
for
he
real.
look how he looking,
That's
dog. Look.
nah,
Like
but
you said.
for real, that's a
Nah.
possibility. Hey, that's a possibility. It truly is. But I've
It's
literally
always
had
a
No,
songs
trust
possibility.
stolen
me.
from me.
Yo, Cord, I know
Yeah,
the
that's a
people you work with in the
possibility.
past. Fam, I know the people you work with in the past. They're pretty fortunate to work with you. Like low key, I remember since the MySpace days where you was doing some shit. Like, okay, Cordero killed that shit. And then you get to the next part, like, okay, that's cool. Well, yeah, Cordero try, carry that shit. But anyway, my bad. But yeah, I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people kind of experience that, like where most of our mentalities is based off of something that happened to us, and it kind of affect the way we think or the way we want to move. Because honestly, we all want to move, like just be open and be free, but then now you have to protect yourself from other people on some other shit, and that's trash, dog.
Yeah.
But yeah. How about you, Ant? I went Ant already. Yeah, Ant. Yeah, your process working with others.
I let everybody be themselves. Excuse me. That's always my thing, is that everybody have creative license, especially if I want to do a song with somebody, I trust your opinion. I trust what you're gonna do. I let you go. I already know what I'm gonna do, but I said, well, bro, just whatever you hear. If you hear that, or you want to do this, or you want to add this here, or you think I should, whatever, I just kind of let it happen like that. Um, I mean, when it comes to writing songs, it's just whatever I feel. Like if I hear the beat, I got words to it, I'm fucking with it offhand. Like I need to do it and whatnot. Like that's how I kind of be like working with everybody. Everybody got different processes here and whatnot. From the people I work out, like Rich, he may hit the mic, he get the mumbling and singing and doing all kind of shit. And what you know what I'm saying? And he come back and he come do some shit. Trey, I give him something, he gonna probably could give it back to me in a day or so, depending on how he feel. You know how Trey be.
Dog, what the
It caught you out, bro. It caught you out.
Yeah, I know how that nigga be. But
Sam hit him with this nigga. Like,
yeah,
hit him with,
Hey,
but like I mean, it's the same thing with class. I mean, we didn't wrote songs in the room together. Even verses where we going back to back, where he started bar, I started bar, bro, I'm rhyming. We do it. It's everybody got a different process. I just let everybody do them. I try to adapt as best as I can to what we're doing, as long as we're not compromising the song and compromising the greatness we're trying to put out.
all right, Trey.
as far as these guys in this chat, like I kind of know they style and they voice. Like Rich, he's one of them chameleon type guys who can kind of hop on anything. Um, Ant got that more hard voice, you know what I'm saying? So it's like with me, I know who fits where, as far as my stuff. And I try, like I've recently just been open to working with other people on my stuff. I was never really that guy, but now I am. But the funny thing
Looking.
is with the, with the
Had to
new
throw that in
album,
there.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
no, with the new album, and Rich told me not to put features on there because I had a lot of songs without features. They was like, bro, just do no features, because I either have one feature on something on a whole project or none at all. Like, so I just recently been open to working with other people, and it's usually somebody I'm a fan of or something about them that I like at some point. So Rich don't like that I be working with other people sometimes, but
Damn.
he be like he be,
Man.
he be like fuck them niggas, man.
Yeah, me too. Damn.
You know, look,
But
if he let me hear something and then it was something like that, then it was like, well, maybe we shouldn't have that feature on there. We have had those conversations.
We definitely had that conversation.
Well, so I can imagine like how like I have a couple more things, but kind of like how was the process? Because look, everybody know people are very sensitive when it comes like the creativity. Like no one wants to be told like I don't know, dog, because it's an ego thing, right? You feel like your creativity. It's like if I spent 20 hours on painting this art, and somebody say, fam, that eyeball is droopy. Like you gonna feel a certain way, right? So
I made it that way on purpose.
It's Forrest Whitaker's daddy.
You didn't get the concept. See, that's what's wrong with niggas.
It's got a coordinate.
You ain't looking at. See, if you looking from the side.
That droopy eye is about the racism in America.
For real, got a whole philosophical reason behind that shit on the real.
You sleep, brother. You need to wake up, brother.
Exactly.
The droopy eye is the image itself. Shit.
Lost in the forest, brother.
The whole image is the droopy eye. Everything around it is filler.
It's like you know that you don't see everything perfectly, my brother. It's perfect that way. I see it. You are the droopy eyed, my brother. Anyway, so but imagine calling it the droopy eye. Imagine calling you the droopy eye, my brother. That's why this art. Anyway, so how do you approach that? Because sometimes, look, even people you trust and work with, you might have questions, but you don't want to mess with like. It's kind of like just anything you do. You don't want to mess with the confidence, but you really want to. You feel like, hey, I'm only doing this because I'm trying to get you way more confident where you are now. So, like, how difficult is that for you? And how difficult is that? Like, just like. I don't know, just a couple sentences. I'm gonna go around because Justin, how do you how difficult is that for you?
To take criticism?
Yeah, take criticism or even give it.
To take criticism, I can act like it don't bother me, but I'll rethink that over and over and over again. Like I'll rethink what somebody says. And I think that's kind of human nature sometimes, especially when you're dealing with something that's personal, like your music, because you kind of feel like that's a part of you. So you feel like people are critiquing a part of you, but how it takes a level of like obnoxious ass ego, just obnoxious ass confidence in yourself. Kind of like, your man Kobe, like, I'm gonna believe in me, fuck what you got to think about it, regardless. Okay, you don't like it, that's cool. And you got to just be like, all right, then it ain't for you. I mean, that don't mean it's inherently whack unless you like your timing's off, like you off beat and your keys is off and shit like that. Then it don't sound right music. Like, but as long as you believe in it, you got to have that kind of obnoxious ego about your own stuff and obnoxious confidence about your own stuff. And as far as giving a critique, like it is tough. You got to read the room. You got to know who can take it and who can't. Yeah. Because some people can and some people can't, and that shit can go left real quick. You got to deal with people on a case-by-case basis. Some people like that, man, nah, that shit was trash. And they be like, for real, bro? All right, I'm going to go do that shit again. But you say that same thing to somebody else, they be like, man, fuck you. You got my session. It could go left. And you should always read the room when you're doing that kind of stuff. Come from a place of making the best product, I guess. Because that's what you want in the end. You don't want it just to be like, man, that shit trash just because you don't like that nigga. But Yeah, especially if y'all working on a song together. But if you don't like that nigga, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
Bitch
How
ass
about,
nigga.
how about Rich? How about you?
Bitch ass nigga. Fuck that nigga.
I think taking criticism, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I have taken criticism a lot. So I don't know, sometimes you just build up the skin for that kind of shit. Like I've been in multiple talent shows and shit as a kid. I've been told no a million times. Oh no, that shit ain't that tight, like a million times. So it's like I would rather that. You know what I mean? I'd rather somebody tell me, you know, maybe what if we did this part, or what if you did this part, or said this part, or cut a little word out right here, or you know what I'm saying? We trying to make the best record, I guess. Like I said before, falling back on that. But as far as giving criticism, like Class said, you know, you got to read the room. You know, sometimes you got that nigga in there when y'all bring your shit back, and he and that motherfucker like, yeah, get him, get him. You don't want to hit that nigga like, what if, what you even mean by that? Like, cause then you gonna fuck up his whole energy and shit. But I usually started with a question. Like if it's something about the verse that I didn't understand, that's usually what throw me off. Like, you know, if we making a song about a computer and you on the song talking about tires, it's like, well, bro, we on two different records now. Like, I mean, you can mention tires, but at some point you want to at least talk about computers in the record or in the verse. At least mention it. You know what I'm saying? Because then everything can be built on top of that. But like that's usually how I approach it. Like working with my cousins or even working with Cardiac, like most times we just go back and forth. Like, you know, most times it's just cutting words out or saying too many words. It's really all I can think about. That's the only criticism, because I really don't work with people that I feel like I got to be in the studio telling them how to say shit and how to do shit. Like, I'm at a point now where it's like I don't want to spend that time. You know what I mean? So I really, like the guys were saying earlier, I only work with people that I'm only working with you because I feel like I fuck with your music and I fuck with what you do already. You know what I mean? I'm not really fucking with you because you got potential at this point. Because then I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta spend most of our time in the studio like, oh man, you know, just to, you know, I know I'm kind of elaborating on it a little bit much, but you know, just basically, you know, I appreciate, you know, the feedback and the criticism or constructive criticism. I don't think niggas should just like, oh, that shit trash, like right out the gate. Like, cause sometimes them fighting words anywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? You can know your trash. You know what I'm saying? You can bring a nigga trash, knowing it's trash. And he, man, that shit garbage. You be like, what the fuck you mean? Nigga, it's trash. Nigga, this ain't no motherfucking garbage. Like, you know? Or this ain't, you know, whatever. But I think it's just about how you deliver this shit. You know, you gotta be able to tell a person and help them grow and not just trash their shit and with no reason. Because a lot of niggas that say your shit trash and you be like, well, what don't you like about it? Be like, well,
shit, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's trash.
It's just trash though. Like, well, nigga, you really I can't really listen to you then.
That's me and shit.
He said it's trash because you know it's trash. What more do you want from me? What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's the thing about it, like it's difference between somebody like you can tell the difference between judgment and constructive criticism. And sometimes taking constructive criticism in a moment, it's still tough to take because it's like you're not trying to see what I'm trying to do, but in the same breath, at least they give you examples of what maybe could change the trajectory of what you're trying to do. And I think that's kind of, especially when it comes to music, I think, you know, like that's always been, it's literally like if you don't like somebody, I don't know. It usually goes in things that a lot of black people's involved, which is like sports and music, right? Because we'll say, "Oh, dude, trash." It's like, why he trash, right? Like I just seen some recently talking about Wale trash, right? Wale's boring. He trash. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why is he trash? You think he trash?
Man, come on. Look,
Cardiac already know my answer.
look.
I look directly at you, nigga. If you can see, nigga, I was.
No, but it's like I see it, and I do wonder why. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody's not fit. Like, you talking to somebody that I would get debates with Ed and Justin all the time about Jay-Z, but like I have my process why. Like I don't, but you'll always know. Like, you know what, I appreciate greatness, or like
You
Jordan
just a
Isaiah
hating ass
Thomas.
nigga. That's what it is.
You know, maybe so, but you know, shit happens. we gonna do beat my ass though.
Niggas always go
So the thing is, like, if a nigga asks you, like, well, why is he trash? You could just give any reason, bro. Like, I mean, your opinion is your opinion. You can be like, oh man, he dressed weird. Like, oh, okay, well, hey, that's your opinion. You don't like it. But when you ain't got no valid reason to back it up, that's all there is. It's just
well,
like,
see,
oh,
I think that's why it's
thing.
wise. I think that's why it's wise to always be around people you can trust and know that consistently they're always in the right direction. Like I know Rich, Trey, Yak, and Justin, y'all all work together, so y'all know if it's something. It's not like you thinking like, well, Ed been mad at me last couple weeks because I ain't buying my cousin subs. When like you ain't thinking about that. You kind of like, oh, he really just feel like I could take my verse to a new level. And so I think that's kind of it can be tough. That kind of piggyback, you know, working with other people. I don't know if I forgot anyone yet, but all right. So usually people don't like excuses, right? We don't like excuses. You know, this is no excuse, especially if you haven't made where you want to go. But I feel like this is a time where sometimes you just got to say what you want to say. And I'm going to start with Justin. What do you feel like is holding you back? Wherever you were trying to get to, what is holding you back? Like you can have, like, I don't look at it as like you make excuses, but just like, what is something that you feel like is holding you back? You don't have to open up like your life story, but just something that you feel like is preventing you from where you want to go. Even if it might be an excuse, but you just, in your mind, you feel like for me, what's holding me back is like, fam, I'm lazy. Like, I don't really feel like it. Like, my head hurt, my knee hurt. You know what I mean? Like, my fingertips itch. Like you feel like, hey, man, but I feel like sometimes we have to say that for us to kind of understand ourselves more. You know what I mean?
For me, it's no question. It's a fear. It's a fear of what happens if it does work. Like you know, it's a saying that goes, dogs chase cars all the time. They don't know what the fuck they're gonna do when they get it. It's like, and it's like, damn, what do I do? You know, and I guess it's really happy because it's something that I've searched for, going through and shit like that. It's like, if I can truly find it, you know, that's a fear. Fear.
Wait, hold on.
Having some technical difficulties, brother.
Laziness. We good? We good?
Yeah, all right.
That nigga got that Teddy Riley.
He do.
Teddy Riley.
That Roger.
Should be the start auto-tune crying.
That Riley net.
He said the Isley brothers. Yeah, the Isley brothers effect on this shit. How you do that?
I think it's just a fear of critique and shit like that. Just overthinking about what other people think, and not putting myself out there enough. Laziness is definitely a thing too, because
All right, yeah.
I think we lost you this time, bro.
But yeah, we feel you. It is fear. Like, I mean, people who know Justin know, like, it can be a lot when you kind of, you're kind of to yourself. You kind of do things the way you want to do it, but you want to open up. But it's like, but then you kind of have to deal with everything that comes with it. You know, every day when you listen to other artists, like you listen to other artists and the shit they go through, we feel like, okay, we get to this point, it's gonna solve all my problems, and you learn that shit stays the same outside of the fact that you probably live outside of the hood. You know what I mean? But it like, so obviously, yeah, it's a hell of a thing, like, to kind of deal with. And you know, obviously that fear that you're wondering, like, okay, I did this. People gonna say, oh man, I appreciate it, but you worry about the other person's like, yeah, it was cool. I mean, I feel like you should have did this. So then you get so caught up in thinking like, okay, what this person thinks. Like I feel like I'm probably almost everybody in here's biggest fan, whatever the definition is. But I can tell you, fam, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. But sometimes people might think like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate it, man. But I feel like you're supposed to say that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, no, like sometimes you just have to rock with the people that rock with you, because the people that ain't rocking with you, I mean, they ain't shit anyway. Fuck them. No, but seriously though, like you just so no, but it's a process. So with you, what do you feel like is holding you back, Rich?
Kind of like I'm kind of in the same boat with you in the way I procrastinate a lot. Like, I got a lot of records that I could have been put out. I got a lot of marketing and promotion that I could have been done. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of time it come down to procrastination and not knowing exactly how to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend a fucking $100 on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram promotion for 7,000 views and no sales. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm putting out more than I'm getting, and as far as I know, like, that's you usually in the negative when you do shit like that. So, like, word of mouth, like Trey was saying, like, it's kind of done now, as far as on the physical aspect, but I think it's just trying to get my music to the people. That's something that, you know, I feel like is holding me back, you know, figuring out a way to get the music to the people, you know, because I almost feel like there is no denying that they'll like it. I'm willing to put my money on 80% of the people will like the music. They might, some of them might love it, but they will like it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm confident in that much. It's just getting it to them. You know, I mean, I can inbox motherfuckers all day, but like Trey said, oh yeah, nice album cover, or yeah, oh okay, I'm gonna check it out when I get off work, nigga. It's what you, huh?
Huh?
Like what? Now today you at work? Oh, what you do healthcare? No, I'm just at work. Like okay, we ain't working right now. Majority of us ain't working, so we can't use it.
Oh, I was thinking to myself, like, my bad, but I was kind of thinking, like, do you feel like it's because it's a saturation problem? Like, let's keep it a buck. The hardest thing to tell people to do, imagine, like, back in the day, like, all right, we all pushing or in our 30s some ways now. But, like, back in the day, you try to tell somebody you rap or you sing because, you know, everybody else been saying the shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that shit's tough to talk about, even if you're really fucking good. Yeah, what you do, man? I rap. Like you in your mind, like I feel kind of dumb saying that shit. You know what I mean? And it's hard to kind of like I think that creates the hesitation. Like I make beats, and there's some beats I made that's kind of but I make some good shit, and it's kind of hard to tell people I make beats because I guess it ties into just being a stereotype or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
that's why you can't just say I rap, like, because you do more than that. Like, you can't just say I make beats. You do more than that. You know what I'm saying? You an entrepreneur. Oh, well, what do you do? Oh, I make music. Oh, okay. What kind of music do you make? Now, see, now we asking more questions. Now we more invested. You know what I mean? Like,
there's definitely a real oversaturation with the music shit because I don't even tell people I work with I do music. Motherfuckers find out.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had a whole ICU walk up to me. So your rap name is Cardiac? You're pretty good, bro. Like all that kind of shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't even tell people that because, like you said, it's a stereotype to come with it. And I'm actually good, and a lot of people are not. And whatnot, who say it all the time. They talk a lot, but they really not that good. And whatnot. And then, you know, people, you get ear fatigue. People don't want to hear that shit because they be like, oh, you just like the last.
Oh, you just another rap nigga,
Oh, here go another nigga who rap, say he good at rapping and shit. You sing, huh? Oh, okay.
Automatically sign you
know
off.
What I'm saying? Oh, you the next Usher type shit. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to clown you, dog.
You pop locking shit? Oh, okay. Nigga. You breezy, nigga. Okay. You breezy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even want to go through this shit. Like this said, you may have to add more to the conversation so that they can ask more questions and know more about it, and you feel a little better about it because everybody do it. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even like to do it. It's just become a hustle for people. Like people don't even care. They don't even study. They don't give a fuck about this shit like that. But they all say they do it now. And it's bullshit because for a nigga like me, I love to do it. I love it. I study. And this is something I would do regardless. It wouldn't matter.
Well, see, what's interesting is part of what kind of creates issues is you kind of have to do the shit in passing, right? Like you got to be in a car full of niggas and you just play a track and be driving, and niggas like, yo, that shit wrong. Who is that? Oh, nigga, that's me, or that's my homeboy. Like if you say, oh, you want to listen to my homeboy, niggas be like, I guess. What's up? And then it changes. You literally have to change the narrative of how you approach everything you do when it comes to this. Like I'm a humble brag, right? So I was working at the airport and I was on the train on the way to work, and Vanilla Ice was like literally sitting across from me, but I forgot my headphones. So I had the phone in my chef pocket, and my beat was playing, and I just see him doing this, and he was like, "Yo, man, that's nice." And I was like, and I was like, "Oh man, it's cool." He's like, "Oh, that's you," and I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, cool." It compared to me, "Yo, Vanilla Ice, listen to what I did," right? And it changed the whole narrative. And so you literally have to approach it differently.
I got a question though. I got one question.
That nigga comeback single, huh?
Hey,
why
man,
you give a fuck that Vanilla Ice was listening to your beat? Don't let him destroy your beat.
No, see, the thing about it was, the crazy thing about it was early in the morning and I was on the train. He had got on when it was already planned. Like I was on there by myself. He sat down and I was just like sitting there, like I wasn't even thinking about it, whatever. But obviously you don't think that's Rob Van Winkle because he was sitting there with a hat on until you look up and he's sitting there bobbing his head. You kind of look at it and he kind of like Lord Zod from Superman, and you're like, oh shit, that's Vanilla Ice. And so then it just come to realize, like, okay.
My nigga said ice. There go ice.
There go ice, bro. That's the ice.
Ninja rap. You start doing the ninja rap.
I didn't know what you called
the ninja rap.
The ninja rap.
So that's my nigga Nilla, man.
But it's overall, like, I could imagine just, like, especially down here. But yeah, especially down here, like a lot of people that I know and listen to, like the easiest thing to do is play a song. Like I got a couple homegirls I used to kick it with, and like I be taking them home, whatever, kicking it with them. I be playing something because I like listening to shit. I like listening to my own shit. If I make something, but I play a lot of my friends shit just because it's part of whatever playlist. It's like, oh my god, who's that like this? And then they listen to it, and then later on you find out when they follow them on Facebook, they kind of want to fuck with one of them, but. I think that's the only way you can kind of approach it. Yeah.
That's how it should be.
The discovery.
Yeah.
But that shit kind of it's hard.
It's gotta be organic, man. It's gotta be organic. That's
the organic shit hard. It's hard to find.
It really is, man. Like it really is very. The only way it's like I don't even like. No one really knows how to do it organically because, like I said, the market is so saturated. You already have preconceived notions of what's going on, especially y'all. Look, it's Wisconsin. Like, imagine what Chicago goes through, right? So then you live in Madison and Milwaukee. It's kind of like it's really a totally different level. when it comes to that. So it can be very difficult. But my bad, Cordero. What about you? What do you feel like is holding you back?
Uh, um, to be honest with you, it's what pretty much what everyone else has said. For the most part, it's the fear of not knowing if you're going to be successful or not. If your song's going to pop or not. We putting out this music because we love to do it. We got a passion for it. Whether you're producing, or engineering, mixing, mastering, behind the camera, you just writing songs, whatever you got a passion for, we're putting it out because we love to do it. But we all want like it's some part of you, you want some type of success from it, and it would be nice. You know what I mean? Um, at least to be in a place like you said, just making a couple like $10,000, some $50,000. To be comfortable. You know what I mean? That would be nice, but that's not necessarily the goal. You just putting out the artwork, just to be putting out the artwork to make a difference. Um, but you have that fear, that little fear there, that's stopping you from doing what you want to do, and taking the next step, and not knowing what's the next move going to be. So you plan as much as you can, and then you act on it. You know what I mean? So I recently was just getting over that fear. You know what I mean? That's why I'm actually putting music out there, because Ramone knows personally that I got years worth of music that's unreleased. Um, so I gotta filter through and figure out what I want to put out. That's just personal. So I have to take that next step. A lot of y'all that already been putting out videos and things like that. I haven't even stepped out there yet. You know what I mean? I ain't got my foot in the water, so I'm gonna just start now making noise. You know what I mean? That's just from my perspective. You know what I mean? So you gotta move forward. You gotta take that chance. You gotta take that leap. And me and Ramon was talking about that. So that's what you gotta do.
I feel like I feel like in most cases now we kind of look at it as what exactly do we have to lose now, right? Best case scenario is like you just happy that you did it. You put it out there, and I feel like, for example, kind of people. Justin is very to himself, right? And people don't know or the things he goes through and things like that. But I remember when he released Stuck, right? And people listen to Stuck, and it's like, some of the comments I seen, the people we even know, he knew, it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like it just hit different because, like I said, people, you have to just kind of create something that people don't realize they need it. And I mean, not everybody can it's kind of unfortunate that a lot of artists, especially certain artists, try to roll out the mental health bag because it's not everyone's real bag. Like there's some people really going to shit, but you don't really want to put a level on like, oh, your mental health level's here, this person's here. Like you don't want to do that because everybody's dealing with something. But you can tell the authenticity of like someone's, when you get to know them, like Justin said earlier, Joe Budden, Eminem's my guy. We already know what they about, right? So that kind of feeds into what direction he feels is very comfortable with how he wants to do his music or how his creative process. But yeah, it is I think it's a difficult thing because like like it really is like we're basically all saying in different ways, hey man, I'm in my own way, right? So but in the same time you still have to go out here and kiss babies and politic a certain way in order to get through all that because fam, we can have all the confidence in the world, we can have all the releases and all the rollouts possible, but if you don't have some of the relationships or ability to kind of connect with people, that shit is you're going to be stuck in the same place. It basically you're running on the treadmill with
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, I think I was going to go to Rich. I don't know if Rich probably. So all right, man. I guess enough of that, man. Let's get to the shits, man. All right, who overrated? Now, like who?
As far as what?
Like who do you feel like put it like no, I'll say this, like, is there an artist that you feel like I can't say overrated, but you still have questions about because you don't understand that artist like other people understand and like the artist? I think
Lil
that's
Baby
what
and Lil Uzi.
What?
Nailed it.
Both.
Man.
What?
is there a particular
Both.
reason why? Is it?
I don't hear what Uzi. I feel like that's like Young Thug's son or some shit. I feel like him. I feel like him and Future birthed that. They are the father before that. Don't what, nigga? That's the truth. Them facts. No cap.
No, nigga.
Facts. No cap, nigga. Lil Baby. I haven't been impressed. I was impressed by the Flex freestyle. I wasn't impressed by what he said. I was impressed by the flows. How he was going in and out of shit like it was effortless. I was impressed by that, but other than that, I ain't heard nothing.
You ain't hear the new album, bro?
Wait, I'm lost. Wait, what happened? I had to take a small break. Where we at?
All right,
you
so
play that, bro. When you play it with me, you and Rich in the room, you played that, bro.
Oh my god.
so Rich,
But I not drop my head.
So I went straight to the shits. I think like to say I went straight to the shits, and I was just wondering like more overrated, but it's an artist that you particularly you're still trying to figure out the process, but everybody really likes. So basically, said overrated, but in a nice way.
So I said Lil Uzi, and
Baby.
I said Lil Baby.
I say the baby too.
In
The
the
Baby?
industry. In the industry, yeah.
I don't understand that nigga.
He said
all
in the
these
industry.
niggas,
Hey,
listen.
we ain't finna do
Case.
I don't know. I would say the Baby for sure. He's one of those people.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, man. That dude.
Yep.
I mean, to me, Suge damn near still his best record, bro. Like, I still hear Suge sometimes be like, "Oh, this shit." You know, you might have just been one of those people that like, flash in the pan, and then now it's too many flashes, and now it's popping on my skin, and I don't like it, so I'm turning the heat off. But
It's not so much like what he's saying. It's like how he's saying. You know what I mean?
It's the same flow to me. Like
it's that same flow.
He approach every beat with the same flow, and it's the same thing for Lil Baby for me too. Well, both of the babies,
exactly.
All the babies,
baby gang.
So okay, I think that's interesting. Y'all say this because for example, once upon a time those niggas used to be there. They're basically us at one point, maybe like a year and a half ago. So what I do wonder is, whatever gets you hot, you have to, because this goes into the fickle fan debate. Like, I understand what everybody's saying because whatever is whatever. Like, I'm not really emotionally tied to either one of those artists, but I will say I do wonder. Like, you're thinking from their mindset. I would love to show other people that I could do other shit and flow differently. For example, Waka Flocka. But hey, I'm getting money doing this. I know if I try to do anything else, y'all gonna cuss me out anyway because y'all fickle. So, I mean, shit. I know this is going to continue rocking right now, and I feel like, are they doing this until they can get a comfortable enough spot to somewhat, like you said, slowly walk and slowly get themselves to do other stuff, like we said with Ludacris? Because if the Baby did a whole album tomorrow of super conscious shit, and he ain't sound like he doing what he usually do, I'm not gonna lie to you, he probably gonna be looking at his label sideways, like, oh shit, I should just stuck with it because that's what everybody want, instead of easing people into it. I'm just piggybacking whatever we said earlier.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing with the Baby. Like, before Suge and shit like that, he was doing like real hip hop shit.
Oh, I never heard him before that. I remember you saying that though, that he was.
Yeah, like if you even on his freestyles and shit on Funk Flex, like you can hear that he had a different approach to music, and then that shit popped off, and then he just made 20,000 more Sugs, like
pretty much
because it worked.
I don't think sprinkling is a bad thing though. Like, I mean, you got to do a nice amount of sprinkling though. You can't, like, if you're gonna have 20 records, if you a real rapper, right, and one of your records just happened to pop off that was a dance record. Now all of a sudden, the first album you put out, you got 9 dance records and one record that's truly you. You can't. You gotta. It's about balance. They not even gonna listen to that record because you gave them 9 dance records. You got to put the single on there, whatever the dance record is. Give them a few more dance records, but you got to put your real self on at least half or 3/4 of that record. You know what I'm saying? Because when that record take off, they're going to either like the single or they're going to like the whole album or they're going to like all the dance records. And then you're going to have a couple fans that might listen to this. You'll be like, damn, this nigga can really rap too. Okay, I'm interested. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing really wrong with sprinkling it out. But if you
yeah, that's true.
If you do 10 dance records or two albums with all dance records and try to do the ludicrous thing, I think it is too much of a shift too fast.
All right, so since I see Trey respond to Ant and Rich and Cordero, where's your who's your I see everybody else feeling it, but I don't know, or overrated in simpler terms.
I definitely have said the baby, but I think it's a personal opinion because I don't really understand the hype. I don't. He hasn't said nothing since he came out. Nothing is relevant. I don't understand the hype. He got money, you know what I'm saying? He got jewelry, you know, he's doing good. I'm happy he's being successful. And he's doing what works for him. So kudos to him for that. But I don't understand it. So that's why I would say, you know, he would be the person that seemed like super overhyped. And Baby kind of falls in that category too. I don't even really pay attention to the new music, you know. So as far as hearing the new album and hearing the new this and hearing the new that, I don't really listen to nobody else's music. I pretty much be focused on my own music. And my cousin music, because me and my cousin do a lot of music together. So I don't really be listening to anything on the outside as far as paying attention to the competition. So I guess I got a biased, you know, opinion, I guess. You know what I mean?
How about you, Trey?
Tory Lanez, that nigga trash.
I disagree.
Dog, we pulling up right now.
False. Wait. Let me say this. Can I say one thing? Okay, so Tory Lanez had a. Can you agree that Tory Lanez? Okay, you say he's trash. Do you feel he's trash? So you got your reasons why, and I'm curious. But let me ask you this though. Can you agree that Tory Lanez got like at least like one hit song?
Yeah.
Right. So I think he got a lot. So go ahead and explain why you think he's trash, because I'm curious.
I liked him in the beginning, like when he first started to pop off, because the sound was amazing. Like him and Play Picasso made some dope shit. Like it was completely different from anything else when I first heard him. Like Blow and all that other shit, and then then after that radio success, he did that LA Confidential. That shit was dope. And then it just went, I don't know. Like, I fuck with him as a rapper mostly. But that singing shit, I just can't. I can't. I just.
You think you feel like he went too commercial and it got cheesy, corny for you?
I feel like he sound like too many other niggas. Like he don't sound like himself no more. From the beginning.
It's hard to tell him apart from everybody else that's doing like he made his style like kind of like a wave that anybody else can get on, huh? He's not so distinctive.
No, okay. He'll do some shit. You'd be like, oh, dude, that sound like a Meek Mill song. Like it's just, I feel like he don't have. But that's his thing though. He said he's swavy, like he used to say that shit. I don't know, but it was like,
fuck? Oh,
It was,
my bad.
but that was his thing though, because he felt like he can just move around any kind of way. And with me, I like him as a rapper though. He can spit his ass off, but that singing shit is like annoying as fuck. He
Okay.
sound nasally and shit.
That's crazy.
No, no.
Because I don't even know him. I don't even know him as a rapper. That's
No,
crazy.
I can
Look
relate
at
to
that.
I can relate to something what Trey said only because like okay, I got to throw this in here. Remember on the wood when he was first about to fuck old girl, he pulled out his pants and she was like, "It's supposed to look like that." He was like, "Yeah." That's how I feel. That's how I feel like when I hear like Tory Lane's voice on tracks. Cause it's like, yo, his voice supposed to be? It's like super
Weird,
high.
bro.
Yeah, it's like it's too high. It's like it's like a step below of what Playboy Cardi is doing.
That
right?
nigga
Playboy
sound like
Cardi's
a
doing like the
mosquito.
baby. Yeah, it's like don't get like I listen to the shit like, but I'll be wondering like, yo, why is he doing his voice like that? Playboy Cardi doing the baby voice, his baby voice, but then like Tory Lanez is doing like a super high pitch on like a lot of his singing songs, which I don't know if it's like that's just the way he want to do it now, or if that's really his voice when he sings.
My thing
Bro,
is,
niggas is definitely using that fucking that audio effect, bro. Niggas is definitely melodyning they shit, bro.
Hey,
here's my
Niggas
thing.
is definitely taking the notes and putting it in the key it's supposed to go in, bro. Like perfect shit.
So look,
Like
y'all should
close
watch
it up.
Tory. Y'all should watch Tory's live
No,
his Instagram concert because
no.
he sang and he sounds just like the record, bro.
Fuck
He
that.
sounds
That's
just
because
like the record.
that's because he's singing through that auto tune, bro.
All right,
Bro,
that makes sense.
I don't know if that's tune, bro. I didn't know. If
Well,
that
no,
was
I just have questions about that voice.
I can tell
Wait,
that's
and
tune.
Well,
and
no,
another
like the Melodyne shit ain't necessarily like auto tune. Like it just put your notes
I know
precisely where they need to be. Like,
but I do. And another thing with him, well, as far as consumers, it's like what he does is the gimmick of putting old samples into this new sound, and then you put a mediocre ass melody on there, and people are like, oh, that shit hot. It's not hot. You just hear.
I don't know if the melodies gonna be that mediocre,
this
bro.
shit to me, bro. Dog, Trey was in my ear about that Chicks Tape 5, but nigga, this shit all mediocre ass melody.
This shit trash.
They ain't that mediocre, bro. They ain't like they ain't chart topping, but yeah.
Well, I say this. I think the problem maybe even with Chicks Tape 5. I think Chicks Tape 5 is like I don't know. Like I don't know if it's. I listen to the whole thing like over and over again because like my opinions. I really try to listen to shit over and over again. Like so, I listen to Chicks Tape and it's like one of those things. Like okay, it's interesting what he's did, but you kind of feel like okay, I'm running out of reasons to listen to it more. Right? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sit with you well. And I don't know if that's just an industry thing where now music, the way we consume it, that we can't sit with anything at all. Like you just listen to one thing and move. And you know, you'll find one or two songs like, all right, I'm gonna pick this song like so I don't know if it's really that, but I think the problem is because I think this kind of goes into maybe what y'all doing and the mentality is like, okay, hey, I want to do music like this, but then people like music like this. Maybe I should do music like this, but no, I'd rather do music like this, and it becomes tough. It's tough. But I was going to ask this earlier. We're not signed to anyone, so I don't think we need to move like we're signed to anyone. Yeah, it's good to have a rollout, but fam, you have the freedom to release whatever you want. It's not like we have Birdman telling us what we can and cannot do. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. But anyway, my bad. Justin, how about you? I know you've been sitting there listening. I know you've been waiting. What's up?
I hate Logic.
Hey, bad. My nigga basic is a bitch. Is he not? Is he not basic?
Bro, Under Pressure, damn near Under Pressure. That's a hot album, though, fam. I don't know about nothing after that.
12-year-old Mexicans.
Damn.
Agreed, bro. Yeah, Logic. Yeah, Logic is trash, bro.
Dog,
Logic.
they be. I mean, he,
Oh shit.
This nigga got a Metro PCS.
Here you go.
Rubik's Cube.
That
I'm
nigga,
just gonna
that
get
nigga,
that corny shit out
that
of
nigga,
here,
that
It's
nigga phone
Logic's
having
fault.
features and shit.
Yeah, the Decepticons got him. You know what I'm saying?
The Decepticon.
Decepticon.
That nigga said,
He's like, yeah, so you
yeah, I
know.
feel you, bro. Look at
Let me move around. Is it better now?
Hey,
Nigga disagreeing. I feel you, bro. I feel you.
he said, no, I'm good. Medicare challenge. Paul having ass. Forgot it.
Damn.
Go sit close to your modem, B.
Dog, yo, my little brother, he loved Logic. He was the first person playing that shit. I said, bro,
Really?
you don't cut this shit off, bro.
which album?
I don't know.
You don't give a fuck. Look,
I don't give a fuck. I was like, bro, cut this. What is this? What are we playing, bro? You fuck with he in the
You know what it is?
I think like this. I'm like,
I think the problem with Logic is his rapping ability is like he has rap ability, but he's not. There's nothing believable when he raps. You know what I mean? It's like he's probably like you know how okay, I don't know if y'all know this for sure, but you know how people look at like okay, Andrew Wiggins averaged 20 points a game. He's probably the worst player on the floor because it's like empty stats. That's like Logic. You know what I mean? Like it's like y'all keep telling me, but realistically, it's kind of like he's just an empty stat filler dude. That his 20 points really don't mean anything just because he just does it. And he shoots his jump shot and look lazy when you do it. Like I feel like
Logic, he even be looking corny in the videos. Like he don't look
he
believable.
feeds off the corny. I think he feeds off the corny. Like he know that people says he's corny, but then he's just like, yeah. Like I remember when the him and Jordan Lucas beef happened with the Tech Nine song. I heard the song and dude was just a song like, yeah, so I'm supposed to come on here and rap all fast. And I'm thinking like, if your bitch ass just rap what you was about to rap, why you like, hey, I just come to be the corny guy that's gonna rap because y'all rather listen to me rap fast. I'm like, yo, I don't get it. Like he's probably like the beat. He's like
he
the
got that same
shtick
shtick that the baby got.
The corniest
the
shit
same
he
flow and
did.
shit on everything, rapping
He
fast,
do.
same fast rap on every fucking beat.
Bro, the corniest shit he did was the strip club record with French Montana and Juicy J.
Family.
What the fuck was that?
Nigga,
I ain't heard that.
Shit was crazy.
Hey, link me that shit.
Bro.
You said what?
You hear that
Hold
new
on, say it
Logic shit,
again.
bro? I've been waiting on bro to drop some new shit.
That shit was pure cheeks. Ass cheeks.
You ain't never heard no nigga say that.
I'm bullshitting, bro. Let me check that out there in case you're recording this. Looking,
it is being recorded.
Can't go
it does
on
say
record.
recording.
Looking.
It says recording in the corner.
Hey, I got this, guys. Hey, Logic, you're good with us.
No, fuck that. That nigga trash. That nigga Summerfest dumpster juice.
Damn, the Summerfest dumpsters juice. Damn.
Oh, that's lowest of the lows, my
That's
dog.
nasty.
Boo boo.
Nasty.
Featuring Juicy J, you said?
Yeah, it's a record with.
You finna pull it up. Yeah, let me
French Montana,
bump that
Juicy
shit,
J, and Logic. Bump that shit, cuz.
Hey,
Said no one ever.
It say got French Montana, Juicy J, Logic, and ASAP Rocky.
Ooh, it's a hit.
Wait, time out. Hey, that's
Big hitters.
I have mines, but ASAP Rocky's part of my overrated list. I just have to say.
That nigga trash.
He fell off.
Ferg is cold though. Ferg is way better.
That's what I was telling Justin when I was a child. I understand why people rock with Ferg more than. I see why people rock with Ferg more than Sap.
Yeah.
Than Rocky.
ASAP
Yeah.
Ferg make more records that motherfuckers can rock to. Like,
yeah, he really do.
Rocky be on that. He be on that like mysterious fashion
Billboard
weirdo.
He on that
stuff.
Billboard. He on the Billboard chart shit. Yeah, he not making no street shit. He'll throw some street shit in there. He'll sprinkle.
But like one thing I can say about Rocky, bro, he don't really compromise his like creativity and shit.
He does not.
Like that nigga be doing that shit he did where he was in that box in that fucking invisible box enduring shit for
Mhm.
like a week or some shit while recording the album. I don't know.
Yeah.
I seen some shit on the internet. This nigga was like, it was like an exhibit, a live exhibit.
Oh, that's dope.
This nigga
Yeah,
was
that's
like in a
fire.
glass box, bro, or
I
some
mean,
shit.
all
Look that
his
shit up,
videos-
fam.
His videos be fire though. They be super creative.
Like, I don't fuck with all his music, but I can appreciate that nigga creativity. It's just
Yeah,
like that
kinda.
with any artist. Like, it'd be hard for me to call an artist trash if I can appreciate at least one thing about them. You know what I'm saying?
Like Tyler the Creator, that dude is super creative, but I
Yeah.
cannot like fuck with his music.
I'm with you,
Bro,
I'm with you.
that
I'm with you.
look, his beats be raw. Like, I don't listen to none of his albums either, but like, I done gave him one listen. Like, oh, it's a pretty good album. I like it, but it ain't nothing that
Yeah.
I'm popping on when I hop in the whip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. I think that's how it was for me with a couple people out that I like it when I heard it, but it's not nothing I'm gonna constantly go back to. It don't
Yeah,
have to
like
be
ain't nothing
forever.
bringing me back to the shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
All right, so
Bro ain't gonna bump the Logic record.
Please don't.
Man, don't turn that shit. Listen on your own time.
Oh, you went to plug up the big speakers.
No, man. Hell no.
He
I
said
need
I
the
was
smallest speakers.
I'd rather listen to that shit.
Bash that shit.
I'd rather
Need
listen to
some
that
old
on.
80s metal Walkman speakers.
God damn.
Yo, I'd rather. Hey, you put that shit on the tape.
Big ass
with the-
foam buds.
and you press record and play at the same time. And it sound like the Chipmunks. You rather listen to that version of it.
Hell yeah.
You need that
Man.
fucking talk boy from Home Alone. That's what you need.
God damn. The
Bro, that
boy,
motherfucker
bro.
selling for like $500 on eBay. No bullshit.
Cause
God
that shit is like.
Don't you
It's
wish you kept
exclusive.
shit like that, man?
Yeah, bro.
Well, I never had
If
one.
I knew
so.
then what I knew now.
Right.
No,
I had a
never
regular
one.
tape recorder, nigga. That's all
I
it
would have
was.
cut my shit make condition, nigga.
I had a
Oh,
tape
wait
player
a minute.
with no
What?
tapes.
You got one?
No, if I would have had one, I would have kept
Oh.
it in make condition.
Well, you see how they selling them old records, like them vinyls. Vinyls selling like
They poppin'.
crazy
They poppin'.
now.
They
Yeah.
popping.
God, that shit's pricey, them motherfuckers. Like I have an ass load of them here.
My
Bro,
mentor-
working at
my
record head,
mentor-
fam, like motherfuckers
Mhm.
will come in there and pay $70 for a record, bro. Like out the and
God
buy
damn.
4 or 5 of them motherfuckers, bro.
Well, I ain't a lot of you. I be feeling like
Bro.
that for Nintendo 64 games. You know what I mean? The Nintendo 64 Dreamcast games. Those
High as
shits is
fuck.
kind of hidden too.
I collect the PS2 joints, bro. Like I be on that game, on that collecting that game shit, bro. So like them N64 games, like you said, them bitches be up there, like Conker's Bad Fur Day or whatever. That's one of the highest ones I done seen for like 100.
Hey, I stay with Perfect Dark.
Mm.
That's my shit. Cordero, fam, them Perfect Dark tournaments we had in Blitz 2000. And them No Mercy. Oh my
Blitz
God.
went crazy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Blitz went crazy.
It's 2001. Don't nobody want no smoke.
you sit there with the Bradshaw chest, like blocking everything.
Period.
You do like
I still got the same plays I created.
so okay. I think I say this together. Jay-Z and Beyonce working together just never does it for me.
What?
Working together, not separately. Working together, Jay-Z, Beyonce together on a song, or
You didn't like the
collectively.
Carter's album?
Wait. You say so you say you don't like Jay-Z and Beyonce
The way
music
he looked
together?
at me.
working together, yeah. Like
Wait.
Clarification like a motherfucker.
What about
On the run
Crazy
and
in
shit?
Love? What is it? Crazy in Love? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Crazy
Yeah,
in
that's the
Love,
shit
yeah.
that took her. That's what took off for her.
Nigga.
I mean, look, trust me. If I'm
whole
DJing,
song is merch.
if I'm DJing an event and somebody have Crazy in Love or Ape Ship and they want to go crazy, it's cool. Like, look, I play.
I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear
Y'all
you.
hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
My bad. I gotta run real quick. I gotta call my little man.
All right, Optimus Prime. I feel you.
For sure.
All right, man.
Me and
Hey,
this
good to
Metro
see you,
BTS on
bro.
the roll,
Hey,
man.
stay safe, man. See you.
All right,
Hey,
nigga.
Justin.
Right.
Hey, Justin. Before you go, no, I'm playing. There you go.
Stop.
All right.
Doggo, see.
Might want to get your phone tested. Might want to get your phone tested.
All right.
But yeah, I know we winding down, but yeah, it's just one of
Damn,
those
it's dark
things
as a
where,
bitch in here now.
oh yeah, it's just one of those things like when you like you just like you just rather it just never tends to work out and hit the way I know they wish it did because people go listen to it. It's both of them at the same time, but and don't get me wrong, the reason why I'm probably wired differently now is because I do so many events a year where I'm doing a lot of rock, the weddings where they want rock and country music and that just shit. But then you have a lot of people who really like those traditional pop songs, or they like the kids love those songs that you can dance to. That I want to, because you play NBA YoungBoy so and so. So it's my view is different of who's overrated only because I might not listen to it on my spare time, but I know if I play this, it's gonna work. Right, so I think that's.
I know. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no!
Go
Who's
ahead.
gonna
I'm
say?
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you
finish
good.
your thought.
Oh no, yeah. So Jay-Z and Beyonce
Oh
when
no,
they
I
worked
know.
together, yeah.
Right. He said, "No, you good." No. Go ahead. Spit this down. No. You. Go ahead. No. You good. You good. But like I was saying, right? No, let me keep no blinker. Hey, he had no blinker.
Is he gone?
Was you about to say Cordero?
Oh, okay. No, I'm finna say I know one artist for sure that we can all agree on super overrated, bro. Pitbull, bro. If he don't get the fuck out of here, bro.
Be right back, fellas.
So real quick, is there somebody that y'all feel like maybe if y'all suggest somebody to listen to, is it somebody y'all kind of rocking with? Like, yo, I think y'all sleeping on this cat.
R&B cat named Aaron Ray.
Never heard of him. I'm gonna check him out.
Dog dope. He got some dope records.
I fuck with.
Well, I could buy something. No, go ahead.
I fuck with Eric Bellinger.
Yeah, he dope too.
A lot of people don't know who he is, but he one of the dopest niggas ever. No, I'm just playing. No, but he wrote for a lot of people that people love. So
and he put out a album a month. Ain't that right, Trey?
Damn near. Every other month that nigga got an album, bro. Like he got a shit ton of music, bro.
There's this new dude that I just recently learned about named Trev Rich. I think he's from Detroit. I'm not sure.
Trev Rich or Trav Rich?
Trev. Like with an E. He's not from Detroit. He's from somewhere else. But I was listening to his music.
Is that a bird, my nigga? Is that a hawk? What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, I got the window up crib.
Damn, what time is it down there, bro?
It's the same time as y'all.
This nigga
holding penguins hostage.
I don't know if y'all realize, but the thing about here in Houston is
Carol Baskin.
They tore down a lot of like forest and grass areas, so nature just happy right now. They've been out free and hanging out. I see somebody asked this earlier. It's like, yo, nature been so free. Have you ever seen a baby squirrel before? And it was like, oh shit.
Damn, yo, fam, I never seen a baby
squirrel. Yeah.
Nope.
I never seen a baby squirrel.
Yeah, they be out here now, man. Like, everything out here. But yeah, Trev Rich. I don't know. I'm not. I keep it a buck with y'all. I'm always just patiently waiting for y'all to release something. Like that's all I really care about. Just because, like, I feel like it's an emotional investment to see people I know. Like, okay, I want to know what they did or the mindset was something. Or if they did something I made. Like, I care about that. Like other artists, I'm gonna listen to, and oh man, people gonna talk about it. But I think things as we've gotten older, like when you were younger, you invested in certain artists because how they made you field. But now you're more invested in the people you know because you want to see them do well. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited for y'all to really, and I mean, even in, I know everybody working on something and trying to do a release, and, I know it can be tough because you want fans more than having other artists listen to your shit, but if you can have a new artist, somebody oh man, like, even with Cordero, he lives in Madison. So, Madison scene is totally different from Milwaukee, what it's got going on, because Milwaukee has its own issues battling between the north side and the east side people, right? And so, yeah, that's all that really matters to me. But
fuck them East Side niggas.
I don't know. I mean, is that really a thing, bro? I never really like.
I think it's a thing as far as the notoriety. As far as like the blogs and shit, they usually
Because all the niggas who sell. Oh wait, we talking about them. Okay, we talking about the hipsters. Okay,
yeah, the hipsters.
I thought we were talking about the other East Side niggas. Okay,
no,
right.
the hipsters.
Oh, yeah, East Side Boys, Lil Jon. Yeah, I feel you.
No, I mean like because like a lot of the blogs also like, they follow the cats like, the niggas who serve. You know what I mean? Doing the stolies and you know what I mean? And all that. That's kind of when they like put that in the forefront, it's kind of like it's almost the ludicrous syndrome, which we're gonna call it now. When you have one type of thing and you try to broadcast another one, like, hey, yeah, them street niggas hot, but listen to these niggas over here. These niggas actually got real music. Oh no, we ain't trying to hear that because all we know y'all for is this jacking shit or whatever the fuck it's called now. So,
right.
It's a little different, but I mean, it's a fight that we all willing to put up with, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's I know y'all talk about this all the time because I know y'all but my perspective is like I don't understand why one feel like the way we do hip hop is a different type of purity of what y'all doing. Like that, it's kind of like I mean, I feel like people should be more prone to connect and cross over. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I'm not saying that Lupe Fiasco has to work with Young Jeezy, but at least I know, they'll probably figure something out, or at least just have a respect to why they do what they do, because everybody technically comes from the exact same neighborhood, doing the exact same. Grew up like for me, my personality, who I am. I grew up on 39th and Center. Yeah, the difference between me and the next dude was he decided to do what he was out in the streets. I was like, nah, man, I don't like consequences like that. I ain't living like that. You know what I mean? So it's really no different. Y'all know a lot of dudes who's be out here roughing and tough, like, yeah, I'm like this. But they probably softer than hot dog meat. And y'all know that. Just because, like, y'all grew up with those people. And I think the East Siders think that, from my understanding, some people probably think, or the hipsters or the bloggers feel like, okay, there's the North Side people. Yeah, I know they live in whatever, this and this and this, but I know the purity of hip-hop. And it's like, well, that same purity of hip-hop you speak of that you would like today, those are things that those people in the North Side grew up with. You know what I'm saying? If you had a conversation with them, they would know who they would know who you're talking about too. So anyway, so thank you for connecting with your boy and just taking a couple hours out, man. I hope whatever helped, and y'all able to just connect with each other, man. And appreciated Cordero and Trey, and I know Justin left, and Rich and Cardiac, and I know other people eventually, if I do another one of these, if we still quarantine in 2022 or something like that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I just hope y'all be safe, man, and just continue to create, do some things. And if, how's your boy?
Sure, man.
All right, man.
All right,
I
much
appreciate
love,
it.
bro. Thanks for having me,
Thanks, man.
Much love.
Hey, I need the plugs. Where the plugs at? Where the plugs at?
Well, it's right. I think it's behind you, next to the TV.
Right. What?
I gotta have something somewhere.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I know Cordero's. If y'all can, man, he's on. I just tag y'all, just say we did something. So y'all hit him up,
Okay.
hit his inbox with all your stuff, because I know Cordero been asking me just stuff to listen to and people to check out. So I figure, why not y'all?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Shit. I'm on Instagram at Ritual P, RICHUALP. You know, if you want to, check out some shit, I got some shit on there. I got my link on there. And then if you tag us, you know what I'm saying, we'll all be in there. You gonna tag us on what? FB or?
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll do it then.
All right, man. Y'all be safe, man. Say no to drugs, get money, and wear condoms.
Look. All right, man.
Okay.
Much love.
All right.
All right.
All right, man.
All right,
All
Joe.
right, man.
Hey, bless, gentlemen.